The Chicago Bears shocked many Bears fans after drafting Colston Loveland with their 10th overall pick yesterday. On today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about that pick, what it means for the teams, and Ryan Poles' comments after the draft, the first round of the draft. We're going to get into it all and more on today's Chicago Bears Central.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And yeah, man, hey, the Chicago Bears drafted Colston Loveland at tight end at the number 10 pick yesterday, and this shocked a lot of Bears fans, right? I think most Bears fans had come to the realization or had thought if the Bears were going to draft a tight end, it was going to be Tyler Warren. And they decided to go with Colston Loveland. And I think when you look at, or Loveland, I should say, I think when you look at it, it's because of the actual contrast that he brings to Cole Kmet, right? He's a guy that is a better blocker, especially in the run blocking game. And I've said this before, not only did he grade really high in run blocking, he graded as one of the best in the country in run blocking, right? That's right up there with some actual like tackles and things like that. Like Colston Loveland is a really good run blocker, and he's a working pass blocker as well, but he also can catch passes. He offers scheme versatility, right? People have labeled him as a big kind of wide receiver, and make no mistake about it, he's probably going to line up at the slot as well, but the added level of his blocking game that he brings here, that's the part that I think really has enticed the Bears. And Ryan Poles after the draft saying so as well, right? When asked why the Bears didn't trade up to get a player, right? While he didn't mention a specific player, he did say, well, you know, and when we look at what we would have to give up to move up and what we could potentially get in the second round, we didn't see the value there. And that is something that I've been telling you guys, right? In my thought process of why I don't think the Bears should trade up is because of the value that you can get there in the second round. And while some fans are focused on the name, and I understand that, right? Not every fan has time to go in the weeds of every draft prospect and things like that. Like, don't have time for that. Make no mistake about it. Colston Loveland is a really good player, and he has the potential to be a Pro Bowl caliber player. Make no mistake about it. Of course, you have your fans that ask the question of, well, should they have traded down to do so? It is what it is there. They decided not to. They decided to stay at number 10, draft their pick. And you know, Colston Loveland is the guy now. And you know, this does really feel like a Ben Johnson pick. And I'm going to hold some of you guys accountable, right? And the thing by that I mean is that a lot of you guys at the start of the season when we signed Ben Johnson said, let Ben Johnson draft whoever he wants. Let Ben Johnson run the draft. Ryan Poles shouldn't do it. Let Ben Johnson run the draft. This was a Ben Johnson pick. And I think people, you got to keep that same energy, right? If you wanted Ben Johnson because you were so caught up in what he potentially brings to this team and everything like that, then realize this. This is a Ben Johnson pick. This is a pick to help Ben Johnson and what his scheme and system is going to be. The 12-man sets that we have all been telling you guys that this Bears team is going to use and use heavily, you're going to see that. And Colston Loveland is going to be a big part of that when it comes down to it. Having him and Cole Kmet out there. Cole Kmet, who has his extension, Colston Loveland, who's on a rookie scale deal, it offers tremendous value there. Now, again, I'm not knocking anybody who asks and questions if that should have been what they did at 10 or trade back, gain more assets, but it is what it is. This is what they've done right now. And when you look at the reasons why, you know, like this is going to be, Colston Loveland is going to be a very versatile weapon for the Chicago Bears. You look at the different ways that he was already used. I talked about it, right? As a wide receiver, in the slot, right? As a tight end, as a blocker, even sometimes in the pistol, right? Now, I don't know if the Bears are going to use that as much, but at the end of the day, the Bears made their decision and they bought on a guy that still has tremendous potential. Yes, it's not at the position. It's not the name of Ashton Genty. It's not the tackle that some people, you know, wanted to see here. And I will say this, one of my favorite second-round prospects went at the end of the first round in Donovan Jackson, but we'll talk about some of the players that stand out still in the second round. They went with Colston Loveland and you know, Loveland. And at the end of the day, that's what it's going to be, right? That is what it's going to be. When you look at it, Jeff King said this when it comes down to it via Courtney Cronin. Tyler's going to be a great player, right? But for us, we felt that the alignment from coaching, scouting, and everybody that touched both players, that he was the best fit for us. We aren't comparing players, but both of those guys are going to have really good careers, but Colston was the best fit for us. They went with fit. That's what they went with. And again, let me not say they went just with fit. We're not going to talk about it as if Colston Loveland doesn't have tremendous potential. People have now basically acted like Colston is just some marginal pick. No, Colston is a monster. Colston is a dog. Could have gotten him later, but I mean, at the end of the day, you want to go out once you identify your guys, right? And like I said, for the people that were blindly saying, let Ben Johnson draft whoever he wants, let Ben Johnson run the draft. This is a Ben Johnson pick. This is a big Ben Johnson pick, and this is what Ben Johnson, this is the player that he wanted. It's clear, right? I don't think it's any more clear than that. It is what it is. No, he's not as much as a passing attack threat as what Tyler Warren is on paper, right? Or is going to be. I think Tyler Warren is going to be a tremendous player. He's not as much of a passing threat, but when you look at everything that he brings, the total package that he brings, listen, it comes down to it, man. Like how versatile he can help Ben Johnson's scheme be, it's going to be that, right? He's going to block some. He's going to catch some passes. He's going to do all those type of things. 117 passes in 3 years, catches in 3 years that he had with Michigan, 1,466 yards, 11 touchdowns in 39 games, right? So now that you have what you're coming down to with Colston and Cole Kmet, hey, I'm telling you right now, that could offer up some very versatile offensive schemes for the Chicago Bears, but they still got to go out and get some depth at the line, and they still got to go out and get their running back. And, they have a really good chance to do that here in the second round, which brings us to our next topic, right? I want to talk about some of the prospects that are still here in the second round for the Chicago Bears. There are really good options still here in the second round, and I want to talk about them. First up, Caleb Johnson. Now, I'm not as high on Caleb Johnson as some people are, but you cannot deny him in the second round still brings a potential tremendous talent. You look at the outside zone and how that's it's central for Ben Johnson's offense. A running back with vision and the size and acceleration that Caleb Johnson has there, it makes a whole lot of sense for the Chicago Bears. Of course, Travion Henderson, a lot of people's favorite prospect here as well. Listen, Travion is a tremendous running back candidate in this draft. Make no mistake about it. I think, in a lot of drafts, he would have been the first running back taken. And Travion offers a tremendous upside. He has that home run ability to make plays. He has the agility. And he's a really good pass protector, which, again, offers a different level that the Bears need with their offense. Travion Henderson is a tremendous candidate here in the second round for the Chicago Bears. Next up, Luther Burden, the wide receiver out of Missouri. We already talked about it ad nauseum. The slot receiver is hugely important for Ben Johnson's scheme. Now, maybe he feels he already has that, especially now with Colston Loveland. You got Zacchaeus in here as well who can do some things. But when you look at Luther Burden, he's drawn comparisons to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if that's the case, with his route running, his yards after the catch ability, this could be another big move for the Chicago Bears as far as getting more that's going to help Ben Johnson's offense go. I think that's going to be a really big thing there that they can absolutely look at. But let's not forget, there are still tackles in this draft. While one of my favorite guys in Donovan Jackson went in the first round, even before Simmons, Irante Ursary, I know how to pronounce his last name. I murdered his first name. He's basically the last big tackle left in this class, right? You look at it, 6'3", 330 pounds. He has really good power. He has good base as well, really good hand technique as well when it comes down to it. He can line up with just about any edge rusher, period, that you're going to have on the other side of the ball from him. I'm sure the Bears are really hoping that he's going to fall there to them at 39 or 41. We'll see what happens there, but he offers tremendous value there for the Chicago Bears as well. And then also Mike Green. Now, I know the character concerns are a big reason why Mike Green fell out of the first round, but I tell you what, you look at everything that he can end up being, if you get that value in the second round, that is first round value, no doubt, in the second round. I don't know if he'll fall as far as where the Chicago Bears pick at, but we'll end up seeing. If he ends up being the pick for the Bears there, I'm in love with it. I'm not mad at it at all. I also think that that Donovan Ezuraku, I believe, the edge out of Boston College, is another guy that you look at it. Really great pass rusher, right? 6'5", 250 pounds, a little bit smaller of a frame than some other edge rushers, but he has really good closing speed. He can play that edge, round out that edge really well. The question is, where do you project him going? Next guy that I know a lot of people are going to love, especially at the edge, Nick Scarlton. At the edge out of Texas A&M. Shamar Stewart already went higher in that draft, but Scarlton is a guy that I think he was a really productive player, in some ways even more productive than Stewart. He has really good power, has very good motor when it comes down to that as well. I think that is tremendous value in the second round for you also. And then lastly, Darius Alexander, the defensive tackle out of Toledo, I think is another guy that you have to really look at. Young, really good interior pass rusher, has explosive quickness when it comes down to it. He gets in those gaps really well, and he has really good technique, right? He's a difficult player to slow down. So I think all those things, these are some players that could be on the board for the Chicago Bears at number 10. I mean, not at number 10, in the second round, and we'll see what the Bears do. But it is Friday, and even though it's draft day, it's still a mailbag day. Let's get into these voicemails. This one is from Jason.
Hey, what's up, y'all, man? This is your boy, Jason, a.k.a. J-Rock, man, from St. Louis. Just want to put my opinion and thoughts on our first-round draft pick tonight. Hey, if this is what Ben Johnson wants, man, for his offense, and he thinks he can make the kid productive and he's going to fit the scheme, then, hey, I'm all down for it. At this point in time, it's all about Ben Johnson we trust. I know there was a few people that was in the chats and a few folks on the panel that was like, hey, they wanted to go offensive tackle, go in the trenches. And I guess my first question is, like, especially when they're saying OT, like, with Minbow gone and with Kelvin Banks gone and with Will Campbell gone, like, who would you have picked at 10 if we couldn't have found a trade back partner? I think at that point, you have to go with who's on the top of your board. And it seems like this kid, Loveland, was at the top of their board. So I would have liked them to pick an edge rusher in that spot before we picked the tight end. But, hey, you got to trust, again, this new coaching staff and this new regime that we got right now with Ben Johnson working together with Ryan Poles and just the whole staff. So I just feel like let's give it some time, man. Let's see what the kid can do. And then also, just for the rest of the draft, this is the first pick, y'all. Like, we got 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick tomorrow. And I really believe that, the spots that people are hoping that we can get, a running back, I feel that'll be picked within these next 3 picks. The edge rusher, and then possibly, an OT offensive tackle, man, for the future to be picked in, these next 3 picks on day 2. So I know it's a knee-jerk reaction from people that, kind of already had in mind who they thought we would pick. But, a lot of the guys that we wanted to, they weren't there. Genty was gone. All the offensive tackles were gone. The kid Mason Graham from Michigan was gone. So it's like, we don't know what was going on in the war room and how the Bears board was set up and figured out. And we don't know if they tried to trade back and just couldn't find apartments. So they had to go with, who the guy was that was on their board. So I say, man, give the kid a chance, man. Give the staff a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ben Johnson started off as being a tight end coach. So I think if there's anybody out there that can evaluate some tight end talent, it would be him right now. And, he's had the Sam Laportas and the Hawkinson. So if he feels this kid can be the next one.
Drafting Colston Loveland was a swerve, right? But if you've been watching Chicago Bears Central, as I know you have and many others have, I said expect something unexpected. And the Colston Loveland was definitely a swerve that a lot of people weren't expecting, right? I think his name had started popping up over the last week or so that the Bears could have some interest there in drafting him lower, what comes down to it, but they draft him here at number 10. And, we'll see how he turns out and rounds out. He's a really good prospect in this draft and a player that I think has tremendous upside, but still has things and where he can contribute on your team right now, right away, and he can help your team out tremendously, especially as a run blocker and as that dual threat kind of tight end there. And we'll see how the Bears get creative in using him. He's going to have to bulk up some at the next level, but overall, I like the player. Just have my questions about where he was picked at, but nonetheless, I like the player. As far as the 3 picks today, hugely important. This is where you find your value, right? I think Ryan Poles' words in that press conference after the first round really highlighted that. The Bears really do think they can get some amazing value here on day 2. And let's see if they can bring that all home. I think that they will be able to. We'll see how it shakes out. But we'll see overall. Overall, like I said before, came into this process wanting to trust it. I'm going to trust it. Let's see what they do as a full picture in this draft before we try to judge the draft one way or another. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from the 708.
What up, Haize? I was watching some videos, man. I was sitting up thinking about the draft. I was just sitting up thinking, like, man, I don't think people realize how much talent it is in this draft. Like, it's like I keep on finding a different player every other day that I'm just not getting up on. And I've been pretty much doing my homework on these prospects. Like I said, everybody know the Bears need left tackle, running back, edge, tight end. And everybody's saying go out to Tyler Warren. Don't get me wrong, I feel like Tyler Warren is gonna be a modern day Jeremy Shockey. I feel like he's gonna be a good player, but he's not a necessity for what we need right now. I feel like these left tackles, man, it's gonna be some meat of the draft, no diddy. It's gonna fall down to the second round. That's pretty much where the good depth is at. So I feel like instead of us thinking about trading up, we should be thinking about trading back. Pick up extra second and third round. Whoever falls to us, whether it's the top our top prospects who we got our eye on, whether it's Hampton, whether it's Genty if he falls to us, whoever we got on our board, I feel like we should be able to score with that. When I feel like we get the second round, I feel like, man, we're gonna strike gold if we pick up another extra pick. Let's just say if it's an extra third round pick, I feel like it's giving us more value. We could trade our 2/3 for another second. Who knows? But I just feel like in the second round, man, we able to get busy. There's just so many prospects out here. I was looking at dude Nick Skirden, Landon Jackson. Damn, man, dude TJ. I forgot his name. I don't want to say his last name wrong. Start with a T, but from Ohio State. I'm looking like, man, there's gonna be some real dogs out here, like some real perennial all pro bowl caliber type players for a long time, and I'm seeing it's coming from the edge. Now, when it comes to left tackle, I see about a good probably two prospects I feel like gonna be modern day studs, Simmons and Banks. I feel like they're gonna be monsters through the door. But to wrap this conversation up, though, I feel like, man, it's just so much talent, like you said, running back. I really want to go to Hampton, man, because I feel like Hampton's gonna follow us, and Hampton just fit what we need right now. A physical, big running back, made for that cold weather. Then at tight end, I feel like, man, we can't jump the gun right now, because don't get me wrong, Tyler Warren would be a good player, but like I say, it would be a reach. And man, I like that dude Mason Taylor, Jason Taylor's son out of LSU. Man, I feel like that kid gonna be nice, and he can do some wonders in Ben Johnson outfits. So like I say, man, Haize, I like what you're doing, man. Keep up the good work and bet down.
Striking gold in the second round is definitely a possibility, especially when you look at the Bears having 2 second-round picks, how high those picks are up in the second round. It gives you a really good opportunity to figure some shit out. And so let's hope that the Bears can do that. They have a possibility. You heard the names I just listed in the segment before the mailbag. There's some really good names, and there's some names that some people were even projecting to go late in the first. The question is, will they still be on the board when the Bears pick in the second round? And are those the players that the Bears are going to be targeting? I think we're going to have a really good day here on day 2. I think this is going to be a tremendous day for the Chicago Bears. We'll just see how it all shakes out, but you guys can let me know how you think and feel on that down below. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Aaron.
Yo, Haize, what up, man? It's Aaron. I wanted to call and check in real quick, man. I've been watching your videos every day. I've been kind of keeping you talking about the draft coming up. And I was watching videos saying about the Bears trading up. And like I've been saying before, man, I don't know if nobody really noticed this, really paying attention. Man, this draft is loaded. And it's particularly loaded with everything we need right now. Like, I feel like the main concerns right now that we need, everybody should know, like you really watch the Bears, left tackle, running back, edge. I feel like it don't matter what order we go and get them. It's just, this draft is so loaded. Instead of thinking about trading up, I feel like we should be thinking about trading back. And I know you're on the same page with me on that. I feel like if we could trade back and possibly pick up another second or another third, man, that can go a long way. When I say a real long way, a long way, because like I say, man, these left tackles so low, like you say, Banks, Campbell, Ursery, you got Simmons. It's gonna be some good talent that falls to the second round. It happens every single year. It's some blue chip players that think gonna go top 10, they fall down top 5. They fall down to the bottom 10 to 12 picks. Look what happened to Jalen Carter. He was supposed to be the first pick in the draft. Wound up falling down. So I forget what it was, 9-10 to the Eagles. But make a long story midget, I just feel like right now with the Bears, man, it's like we can go any direction. We just can't. We gotta pursue this the right way. And when I say we gotta go get starters day one, like through the door, man. And I just say I feel like right now we in a good position. Everybody needs to calm down right now and just do what we need to do. Because like I said, man, I'm ready for foes to really strike this. I feel like we really can't mess this up no way we go. Like I said, man, it's just I'm ready, man. You can hear out of my voice. I'm excited. Like I say, I ain't gonna talk your ear out, but bear down, man, and y'all enjoy your day.
Most of the guys you mentioned went in the first round, right? I think that really points to how teams view tackles in this draft. They went out and got those tackles. A lot of the tackles that people were saying you can get in the second round and have value, teams went ahead and picked them in the first round because of whether position need or whatever else it is. They went ahead and drafted them. And so now we got to see how they're going to work out for those teams. But, overall, the Bears still have a lot of players on the board that can help the Bears right now. And I think that's an important thing for a team that's trying to show and prove that they want to win this season. So let's see what they do. All right, let's see what they do. Listen, I was just as shocked as everybody else, right? But I still see the value that's here in the second round, and that value is why the Bears didn't want to potentially trade up. So let's see what they can do with it. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Darius.
What's going on, man? Old Darius in Dallas. I'm just catching up on this latest episode here, Haize, and you brought up, pretty solid points, man, with the whole trade up, trade back scenario. Because I do agree with you. Trading up and potentially losing a second round pick to get a running back who, to be honest, I mean, the dude was phenomenal, but I can't for sure say that if Quishon Judkins or Marion Hampton didn't play, at not North Carolina, at Boise State against that level of competition, that they would have maybe had the same kind of year. So the degree of separation is not big enough for me to trade up for that running back. Now to go get Mason Graham, to go get Abdul Carter, or if they really, really believe in Campbell, that left tackle from LSU, if they really, really believe this guy's a Pro Bowl left tackle, then maybe go up to get one of those three. But I don't think trading up, to the top 5 or something just to reach for Ashton Jeanty. Cause you gotta look at it, man. If he gives up the second round pick to reach for Ashton Jeanty and Jeanty doesn't work out, that might be his worst draft pick ever. And that might even be one that gets him fired. So, I think he's got to go with the safe pick if we're going to stay put at 10, or trade back. And, a good way to kind of look at it is this, man. What if instead of just trading back, and I know you've brought this up before, Haize, but just give them 2 second round picks up, to somebody and see if we can get in the top 15. Then we have a number 10 and a top 15. Now it's looking like we end up getting a left tackle and a bona fide pass rusher. We're not one running back away, guys, from being legitimate, like Super Bowl contenders, I don't feel. But I do feel that we're potentially maybe one Pro Bowl caliber left tackle, maybe one Pro Bowl caliber pass rusher. Those are the 2 positions where if we get an impact player there, it can change the trajectory of our season. I don't think for sure that Ashton Jeanty can change the trajectory of our season any better than Amarian Hampton or some of the other backs can. Hey man, maybe trade them two second round picks for one additional first round pick, and we're in a position where we have our starting left tackle and pass rusher of the future. Hell, I like that scenario a lot better. But let me know what y'all think, man. Texas up, bear down.
I think Pole's words in the press conference about the second round proves why the risk of trading up wasn't something that they were willing to do. They really see this second round as a place where they can do some, Rose, I think the direct quote was, some special things, right? And they didn't want to give up the possibility of those special things that they can do in the second round by potentially trading those picks and moving up. So, I mean, we did hear Ryan Poles was on the phone. He was trying to get deals done, and he just didn't see the value in those deals. And that's what it comes down to as well. It all comes down to that value with Ryan Poles. Been saying that for a while. That's what it is. Now let's see what they do in the second round. They have a great opportunity here in the second round to make some things happen, and let's hope that they do. Again, I'm going to have my faith for this team, and we'll see how it shakes out, bro. We'll see how it shakes out. But all right, let's get into this next one, man. This one is from Ant.
What up, Haize? It's your boy Ant, the big homie. I'm just going over the draft and looking to see who we might be interested in. You know, the boys Poles and them have been cooking all off season, so his pick isn't going to really be a need pick. I think it's going to be just a piece of chicken on the Sunday plate. You know what I'm saying? It's not needed, but it's going to be something that we can appreciate. And I think they're going to shock the world. I don't think they're going to go tight end. I don't think they're going to go line. I think they're going to go linebacker. And not the type of linebacker that plays in a 4-3. No. I think we're going to go traditional linebacker. We don't have a Sam. I don't think we have a Sam linebacker, you know. And I feel the kid from Alabama, Jahad Campbell, I think he will fit that role nicely. I think we'll be surprised about the type of things the defense can do when it has 3 effective linebackers pretty much. You know, even though, you know, yeah. I definitely think they're going to go line. But just let me know what you think. I'm sorry, linebacker. Let me know what you think. And the big homie. Love the show. Love all your shows. You know, rock with y'all heavy.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel you on where you're coming from with this one. And, you know, they didn't go need. Now, they did go tight end. You thought they weren't going to go tight end. They didn't go absolute need. They went something that's going to help their scheme and their roster come together. And, you know, everybody's going to be all eyes on Colston and see what he really brings in this first year. And I think that he has an opportunity to bring a lot of what the Bears need personally. Again, I think he's going to – I don't have any doubts that he's going to be a good player, right? I think the overall doubts is just the shock of him being there, especially over Tyler Warden and them taking him, and then also the Bears not taking, you know, a tackle, which a lot of the tackles' names are already off the board, right? So I think that's what it comes into with the shock around it and things like that. But you called it. The Bears didn't go need. They went something that really was a system thing, and let's see if it ends up working out. But that's my time for today, y'all. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.